I learned a lot of great lessons from my granddad, but one of the lessons was from watching him take care of his pine trees in South Alabama. Now, my granddad had several different jobs over the years. One of the things that he was really excited about was planting pine trees and harvesting them years and years later. And so what I want to do is I want to give you 3 principles that I learned from that process. Principle number 1 is the principle of sowing. And the principle of sowing says this: you will reap what you sow. In other words, whatever you plant, that's what you're going to get. So for my granddad, he planted pine trees, and what he got 15, 20 years later are fully grown pine trees, not apple trees, not pear trees. You reap what you sow. Principle number 2 is the principle of seasons. And the principle of seasons says this: you reap more than you sow. And so in other words, when seasons go by, when fall, winter, spring, when those go by year after year after year, whatever you planted is going to grow. So in my grandfather's case, he would plant pine trees, and 10, 15, 20 years later, they would grow. And then principle number 3 is the principle of success. And the principle of success says this: not only will you reap what you sow, not only will you reap more than you sow, but you will reap later than you sow. In other words, people that are known as overnight successes didn't really become successful overnight. The truth is they were consistent over the long time. And then at some point there was a tipping point, and what they planted and what they cultivated eventually became successful. So here's the challenge today. Today, you're the result of what you've been planting over the last 5 or 10 years. And whatever you planted 5 or 10 years ago is growing, and it's growing bigger than you could ever expected. So here's the takeaway for today. If you don't like what you're reaping, change what you're sowing. If you don't like what's coming out of your life, then go back and change what you're planting in your life. Because here's the truth. You reap what you sow. You reap more than you sow, and you reap later than you sow. So today, let's start planting the seeds of positive change. Have a great day.